distinguished guests, members of staff, dear. What an extraordinary honor to be with you here this morning, so soon after coming from Kango, Kanjaramogi. And I want to say that these are difficult times for us in the region. But when I went to lay a wreath at the mausoleum where our late brother Raila Odinga, I could not help but imagine the struggles that we have come through. And so I want to greet you as we used to be greeted by the young ones with Raila Amolo Odinga. Remember those days when you say Raila Tialala. Kumbukeni hiyo, Raila Tialala. Raila. Well, Raila Tialala. Now, I've just come out there and the story has changed. And it is Joey, the buffalo. Joey. You need to carry a spear with you so you can make a bit of sense out of that. But students of Lukenya University, you are truly honored to be able to host such a distinguished leadership in our continent, and more particularly the chief guest today. I bring you greetings from one who was a fourth president like you, the Honorable Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I was speaking to him as I was driving in to Lukenya, and he was so excited. He leaves the country tomorrow and he asked me to convey his message of welcome to you. And there's so much, again, as Mheshimiwa Jessica Balu, Member of Parliament for this area, you did make some very interesting comparison between our chief guest and yours truly. That you are born the same year, believe it or not. But Mr. President was born in February and I was born in December. They went on to found Botswana Patriotic Front. And we are members of Wiper Patriotic Front. And then you have come visiting. I hope I'll go visiting. In fact, my plan says by Wednesday I'll land in Gaborone. So I hope you'll be home by then and to be able to visit. So let me make this submission in writing, because if I don't, my brother PLO Lumumba will have carried the day. And as Sylvia said, it's so difficult to speak after PLO. But PLO, I must tell you, I'm very personally proud of you because of what you have done to this university. And you continue to live that dream of Pan-Africanism, content. Then you also add form to it because you're eloquent. And so I must take this opportunity to urge you on. Don't look back. Now you're looking at innovation. You're even looking at media relations. You're expanding this space. Because, as you say, the period of sloganeering is over. No more slogans. We need to really live what we preach. And so you're in the forefront at such a time as this. I've seen you crisscross the continent, sometimes addressing huge audiences, some not so huge, like I watched that what you talked about in Accra, Ghana, and I'm truly amazed. And so I wasn't here when Malema was here, because I was afraid that these Kenyans were going to look at me differently. But that's a true African, a true son of this continent, saying it as it is. Because the era of preaching that we are the African lion has come to an end. Because must come to an end literally and really do something. We often talk about the Asian tigers, Mr. President, the Asian tigers, and then we say the time for the African lion has come, and the elephants and all. We need to lift this country. The moment has come. And now the rest of my remarks must be in writing. This university holds a very special place in my heart. Every visit reminds me of its remarkable journey, from the laying of the first stone to this very moment, as we break ground for the Pan-African Institute. It is a story of vision, of courage, and unwavering perseverance. That's why you are dressed, the dress code here is not a suit or a jacket like Governor Mutula is wearing. And imagine this mama and our late brother Justice Kasanga Mulwa were able to do the impossible. The dream of Justice retired Kasanga Mulwa and Mrs. Mother Mulwa has not only endured, it has indeed flourished. Kenya University stands today as a shining example of how vision, determination, and purpose can create transformative institutions. Because of their vision, Makueni proudly hosts Kenya's first non-profit university dedicated to African empowerment through education and through innovation. This is the essence of transformation. The belief that with commitment and persistence, we can build institutions that educate minds, shape futures, and strengthen our continent. Distinguished guests, Africa and the world bade farewell to one of our greatest Pan-Africanists, the second Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Your heartfelt tribute to him this morning deeply moved me. I'm certain that from the mountaintop, my dear brother and friend Raila is smiling down upon us and upon you, proud of your tribute to him in his honor this morning. And what Junior forgot to say is when I did not contest the three presidential elections in a straight line, is because I chose for the first two to be my brother's running mate. And the third one, I did not even offer my candidature. I said I was going to really support him unconditionally, and that we did. Raila's Pan-Africanism was never merely ideological, it was a way of life. For decades, he championed African unity, economic cooperation, and leadership that prioritizes people. He believed passionately that Africa must speak with one voice, and that our continent's future depends on our ability to stand together. As the African Union's High Representative for Infrastructure Development, Raila carried this dream across Africa. He envisioned a continent connected by railways, by roads, by energy corridors, and digital networks. A continent bound not by borders, but by shared purpose. He often reminded us, I quote, Africa cannot trade or integrate without infrastructure, end of quote. For Raila, this connection was more than development, it was liberation. And therefore I also agree with you, my brother PLO, when you say the time for economic liberation is now. It was important. Our forefathers, a lot of whom are actually being depicted right in front of us, struggled and fought for African political liberation. And that was achieved. And I think the story of Kwame Nkrumah and the argument at the OAU summit at that time, whether they should have gone for integration, which was, I think others like Mwalimu Nyerere and others, that a few had a different way of looking at it. But imagine Kwame Nkrumah's dream been agreed with. This will be a continent like no other. So now, for my brother Raila, even in death, his spirit continues to inspire. His voice reminds us that Africa's power lies in cooperation, not in division, in dignity, not in dependency. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and may his dream for a united Africa live on. Of course, he joins many, many others. I can tell you, for example, at the occasion to even reach out to brother leader who was misunderstood, Muammar Gaddafi. I see my friend PLO. I think you need to look a little bit at that contribution. Muammar's vision was for an African foreign policy, which is common, and African defense policy, which is also common. But I can see that there are difficulties in achieving some of these things. Ladies and gentlemen, there is truly a wind of change sweeping across our continent. This wind is the latest expression of Pan-Africanism, I dare say. The wave of Gen Z-led protests across Africa against bad governance, against corruption, impunity, lack of transparency, electoral fraud, and rising living costs is a powerful testament to a new generation rising. These peaceful demonstrations are not acts of recklessness. They are acts of hope and determination aimed at restoring the dignity of their generation and ours, just as their forefathers restored Africa's dignity through the struggle against colonialism and oppression. This is Pan-Africanism in action, an awakening that must be recognized and supported. African leaders must stop treating protesters as criminals. In the case of Kenya, in the case of my own country, a senior counsel went out there, PLO, next to committing maximum prison, to enter and defend the young Kenyans who are charged under Prevention of Terrorism Act, that your own children were even seen as terrorists. So, leaders must listen to their people and not silence them. This surge of youth-led Pan-Africanism is not accidental. 19 coups in just 4 years, coupled with the persistence of one-term presidencies, are warnings we cannot ignore. Well, did I talk to you? Did I say one term? Did I hear you say one term? One term. Mr. President, that is the clarion call in our country. This has become our second national anthem. Guests, dear friends, as we break ground for the Pan-African Institute today, let this moment be a reminder that Africa's future is in our hands and we are still painting our canvas. Let this institute be a beacon, a place where ideas ignite, talents are nurtured, and Pan-African ideals are brought to life through education, through innovation, and through action. Together, let us continue the work of building a continent where opportunity, where dignity, and prosperity are within reach for all. Let us honor the legacy of those who came before us and empower the generation that is rising now. The journey is long, but the vision is clear. An Africa united, strong, and free. Viva Africa! Viva, Viva Africa! Viva. Comrades power! Power. Comrades power! Power. Comrades transaction. You know what that means. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Kenya. God bless the Republic of Botswana. Long live Africa. The time for Africa to rise is now. Amen.